Hey everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another fashion edition. Today we are taking a look at some wedding guest looks. Some good, some awful, some luxurious, some horrid. If you missed last week's video on all of the lovely royal brides of our times and their gowns for their weddings and receptions, then go back and watch it. I'll link it somewhere. It was last week's fashion edition on Friday, and this week it is all about the guests. You know, in our lives we may not have the budgets we need to get a special or perfect outfit, including good supportive undergarments for every wedding that may come up on our schedule. But these people, they have no budgets. So I think it's fair game. I mean, the internet is full of poor examples of what to wear to a wedding, and I was kind of surprised to find some of those examples in a royal wedding catalog of guests, including Meghan Markle's choice to wear that awful bedsheet that was basically eating her alive. So we will be critiquing her and other royal wedding guests in today's video, including many from Princess Eugenie's wedding, because they have less excuses to come looking disheveled. But first, I have a couple of quick notes for you, so if you don't like talky talks, then skip ahead, babe. There's chapters and timestamps below. First, I want to show you guys this. It was sent to me by this startup company in New York called Rose Forever. They are actually real roses, and these arrangements come in all sorts of different colors and all sorts of different types of boxes, and they last for like a year, these roses do. So if you're looking for a gift or you know somebody who would like something like that, I will link their info in the description box and you can get a discount if you choose to shop them. Oh, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you with us. So let's get into it. I just have to say, in this first outfit, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle looked like they had just had a fight. I mean, I'm just saying. When I was looking through the wedding gowns and reception gowns last week, I noticed like Prince Harry looked so tense, and I have a video coming up about some of the differences that I spotted between like Prince Harry on his wedding day versus William on his, and just the like general attitude and things like that he has seemed to be so on edge. At this wedding, it was Prince Harry's cousin's wedding, and it was the first time that Meghan Markle, joined him to a wedding after they had been married, because we all know she showed up at one in Jamaica before when they were just dating. There's some tea there. In today's video, we are covering Princess Eugenie's wedding, and we all know that she pulled a rather rude stunt in sharing her pregnancy news, and it was like so early on. There was no need to share pregnancy news at Eugenie's wedding reception. I just found that to be kind of tacky and poor etiquette, in my opinion. You shouldn't do that. You know, whether it's good news or bad news, you should really keep it to yourself on somebody else's like most special day of their lives. Let me know in the comments, and let's get on to the fashion. So I'm going to circle back around to Meghan Markle's looks in a minute. Today's video is going to be lots of fun. I want to start off with Amal Clooney, who may just get her own style video soon because she has such a well-developed sense of style. And at Meghan Markle's wedding, she was wearing this most amazing look. Now, why she and George is there is beyond me. I am not sure. Meghan Markle didn't know them. I don't think Prince Harry knew them. I don't blame them for going. Who wouldn't accept an invitation to a royal wedding? But like, why are they there? Why were they invited? I don't understand it. This was a spectacular look from her, but before we dive into it, I just want to draw attention to this dynamic as a couple. You see, ladies in heels, especially if they're in front of cameras, you don't want to trip or stumble in your high heels and in your special dress and things like that. You know, things can happen. We've seen it all the time, like on the Oscars red carpet. Girls can trip in those big heels and fancy dresses. So it makes sense to want to hold on to your man as you're walking in so you don't stumble. But this is the right way to do it. You're not clinging on with hand-holding vibes that look juvenile. He offers her his arm. It looks so much more classy and appropriate, and it makes sense for all the practical reasons we just mentioned, but it's still acting like a grown-up. You know what I mean? It's like normal behaviors. Anyway, this is a spectacular color. Yellow is my favorite color. I think you guys know this. I say it too often. The square-ish neckline is very flattering for her. You know, the waistline, I feel like it's pretty nice. It's quite minimal. She's got a good balance. She's rather tall. I think it really works well for her. I love the hat. I love the netting coming down. In the back here, this tie, it may not be everyone's taste, but it adds interest to the back of the dress, and it kind of elevates it, which I think is important for the occasion. And it's not too big or embellished. It could have been tied into some big sloppy bow or something really over the top, but I feel like this was maybe done as a styling option for her to keep it just a little bit more streamlined and not too voluminous back there. And then she's got this almost monochrome look with the gold heels and accessories. I just think this was really nice. If you guys like this video today, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment if you would like me to do the guests at Catherine's wedding. All right, next we have one of the most infamous dresses from Meghan Markle. This was the first wedding they attended after being married. It was Prince Harry's cousin, and she chose, for whatever reason, this bedsheet, this oversized, loose, drapey, silly-looking outfit. Quite honestly, once putting it on, wouldn't you think, this don't look so good? Wouldn't you think that? I'm just so puzzled by it. And then the hat looks like a pile of tissues, like a pile of Kleenex. Literally, my toddler was like, she has teepee on her head, which is toilet paper. Why is she wearing teepee on her hat? I don't know. I didn't have an answer for him. I said she was a silly lady. That was silly. So it's not the print that's the problem. There's lots of options in that sort of print that look great, or at least normal. In fact, ones that I really, really like this one that Beatrice is wearing here. It's very nice. I don't like the black shoes that she's wearing. She should have gone for white, but it's a beautiful dress and the print is lovely. This could have been okay if it was the right size, maybe. It's an Oscar de la Renta look, so I'm kind of confused what's happening here. And also, it looks like the men were taking this path and she velcroed onto Prince Harry, so she looks really out of place. She's the only lady there. Everybody else is these dudes walking along, so I'm not sure if she just decided she couldn't let him go walk with his friends by himself or something. I don't know. The giveaways that it's too big are the sleeves and the cuffs and the shoulders. So you can see that the shoulder line here, it's just a little too wide, but also the sleeves and the cuffs, they're coming down over her hands. They're bunching up here. They are supposed to be billowed sleeves, so they are supposed to have volume, but they're not supposed to be hanging off of you like that. This is what it looks like for me when I buy a dress like this that's big enough to fit my bust. Then it's way too huge in my arms. It was a $5,490 dress also. You pay $5,500 to wear something so huge? This article said that it was a floral maxi print dress that was an unexpected choice given the more streamlined styles she's been seen wearing recently, but the Duchess managed to carry her Cali girl style with posh, regal poise, serving up the ultimate boho chic wedding guest style inspo. I disagree wholeheartedly. This was not chic, it was not boho chic, and it was not regal, poised, or posh. It was frumpy, floppy, just oversized, sloppy, awful. This is an option from Oscar de la Renta that I think would have been great. An excellent choice for this wedding would have been this. It has volume around the hips, which is exactly what she needs. The sleeves are like 3/4, which is actually really great for her because it would minimize the lanky limb effect. It's all one print everywhere with a very simple neckline and no added interest up here, and also no added volume up here. So it would be great to balance her broad shoulders. And then even though it has a belt, the belt blends in seamlessly because it's made of the exact same fabric and pattern as the dress. So the belt would not be doing the belt thing that we've seen Meghan Markle make mistakes about. I have a video on that too that I will link somewhere. And then the volume in the skirt is just enough to give her hips a little bit of shape and shape her overall figure without making her legs look too thin due to excess volume in the skirt. So it would have been the perfect choice for her. Why she chose this mess, I couldn't say. I have no idea. But I wish she would have chosen this that I picked out for her. Just saying. Next, let's focus on the guests at Eugenie's wedding. So let's start with Catherine, Princess of Wales. So I don't love the waistline of this look, but she clearly loved this dress because she also bought it in a pale pink that she wore more recently, but she wore this hot pink version of it to Princess Eugenie's wedding. And I like certain parts of it. I absolutely love the skirt. It's a perfect length. It's a perfect amount of volume. I like the sleeves. I don't even mind up here the little interest around the collared neckline, although it's not my favorite style. It's really just that almost paper bag waistline sort of situation. Now, she has the body type to work that and it not interfere with her figure at all because she's got a very skinny waist. She's nice and tall, so she can get away with it. It's not that it's like a bad choice for her body type. I just personally don't like the almost like paper bag or ruffled waistlines. Personally, they're just not my favorite look. But in general, it was great. Also, her hat in both of these pictures is perfect. I love them. They're great. Sophie looked absolutely lovely. I can't tell if it's black or navy, but it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it, a little bit of a texture to the skirt, and then it's got this scalloped edge all along the collar, the sleeves, and the bottom of the dress, which is so lovely. It adds a great amount of interest. The hat is a perfect choice for her. The waistline and everything is very slimming for her, so I thought that her look was one of the best from that day. Beatrice wore this asymmetrical collared peplum skirt set, and it's not my favorite for a few reasons. Now, let me just start off. The color is like a blurple, and I love it. That is totally fine. The neckline, though, is a bit heavy for her to start with, and then it's asymmetrical. But in pictures, in movement, it just looks like her outfit isn't aligned right. It just wasn't designed looking intentional enough for us to understand at first glance that it's supposed to be asymmetrical, kind of swooping out to reveal just a bit of this shoulder. It doesn't come across that way in the images, in my opinion. You guys correct me in the comments if you disagree, but to me, it just looks as if she needed to adjust her top at first glance. Upon looking at it, it's obviously designed that way, but you know, in these sorts of events, you're seen in a fleeting moment, so it's important that your designs, that the dresses that you wear and things like that, your style choices look intentional at first glance. The headband, I believe it's a headband anyway that she's wearing, I have no problem with, and the peplum, I actually quite like the peplum approach. I absolutely love peplums. I think they are great for adding an hourglass shape to anybody's figure. There is a peplum you can find for almost anybody that will be flattering and add to their waistline. The part of the skirt that I don't like is the fact that it's got this drop pleating happening. It makes it look like it needs to be pulled up, in my opinion. So really, this one I'm going to have to say is a miss for Princess Beatrice, unfortunately. It's a bit of a miss. Pull the skirt up and make it look more intentional up here. That would have fixed it. This particular look on Beatrice would have been a better approach. I feel like this top with Beatrice would have worked a little bit better. Meghan Markle wore this navy coat dress by Givenchy. I don't hate it. I also don't love it. I think the hat was a great choice. I'm not a huge fan of it or anything like that, but it's very simple, very basic. There's not a whole lot to say about it for once. The real problem was what she chose to do that day, which was share her pregnancy news. When it came to her outfit, I guess it wasn't so bad this time. Although she did have on so much jewelry that personally, I don't think it went with the look very well. It looked quite clunky. And also, it's important, especially when you're like in the royal family, to not flash too much jewelry and like flaunt your wealth. It's poor etiquette. Moving on, other notable figures at Princess Eugenie's wedding was Anne, Princess Royal, wearing this beautiful green ensemble, but the wind was getting her. But I really like this look on her. The pattern was nice within that green monochrome sort of a look with some black accessories. I thought it was a really nice approach. The hat was great for her. And Pippa was also wearing green, but she was pregnant at the time, and I think that the dress she chose was perfect. The seam is just above the baby bump. It allowed a lot of room for if the baby bump grew before she was able to get another fitting. That little bit of a turtleneck there just kept everything nice and simple and sleek, and you're drawn up to that beautiful hat that she has. I thought it was a great look for her. I really, really like that dress. Kate Moss has probably my favorite look of the day, and you can guess why. It's polka dots and it's a blazer. It's a wonderful look, and in fact, she made it to a lot of the best dressed lists from that day too, and I wholeheartedly agree. I thought the hat was perfect, the ensemble was perfect, it's classy and chic, and has that print that's not too loud and obnoxious for a wedding, and of course, keeps it away from being wearing white like the bride. Okay, Naomi Campbell, I think, made a huge mistake. This does not read wedding to me at all. This is not a wedding guest look. This is like a fashion shoot look, or maybe going to a runway show. That's what this is. I don't like it for a wedding at all. And I'm not a huge fan of it in general because she does have slightly wider shoulders than her hips. So adding that shawl around the top, plus the feathers and ruffling and everything, I feel like was just a lot happening up here. And it looked a little bit suffocating and stifling and made her look even more top heavy, which I don't think was a good choice. I mean, she's got the height to pull it off. She is a supermodel. Maybe I'm committing a sin by criticizing something she wore, but it just wasn't my favorite. Okay, I'm not sure who this is, but this looks like she just was wearing her pink bed sheets to the wedding, and then she's got a yellow hat and yellow shoes. There's no continuity bringing those two things together because her handbag is blue. This was a really weird choice. She's got a lot of jewelry on one arm, it looks like. I absolutely hate this look. I don't know who it is. I'm so sorry, whoever you are, but that's a bad choice, okay? It looks like you are wearing your bedclothes to a wedding. I don't know. Jimmy Carr's wife here is wearing a wonderful dress. I absolutely love it. It's got a bit of a flare there at the knee. I really, really like it. It's nice and fitted, so it shows off a great figure that she has, and I thought she looked lovely. These two girls both hit it out of the park. I really love this pale pink dress with the blazer, and then the gloves have these cutouts here. So chic. The belt looks to be sparkly or embellished in some way, shape, or form. She looks fabulous. I want it. And her companion here, her friend here, also looking lovely. She's got these not just fluted sleeves, but also ruffly. Now hers looks like it might be a little too tight across the midsection because you can see a line under her bust at the waistline of the garment, and then it's really, really tight in that lower belly area. So I feel like it was too tight for her, but I'm not horribly mad at it because I really love what's happening here with the sleeves and whatnot. And her figure looks to be one in which can carry that volume along the shoulders because it doesn't look like her shoulders are her broadest point. So all that detailing across the arms and shoulders is actually really great for her, and it looks lovely. Now, Liv Tyler also made a huge mistake on this day. I don't understand what happened here. She has a nice figure. She is a slender woman, and this just makes her look wide and clunky in the cuts of the outfit. And it's also not very wedding day chic. You know what I mean? It's not reading wedding day to me. It almost looks more like something you would wear to a funeral. I hate to say it. What I do not like about it is how broad it is on the shoulders, and then it's not cinched in enough around her waistline and her bust for that peplum to really have the effect that I think maybe it was intending to do. And then the skirt is just a bit too long. It's just hitting a little too long for her to really come off as like a look. Cressida, I have noticed she is giggling in every single photo I have had of these wedding guest pictures. So she seems like a real good girl. She seems real happy, and I like her. And this dress is great. It's a velvet dress with this beautiful little pattern on it, and everything ties in really nicely. I love her headband and accessory choices. The sleeves have a little bit of a fluting here. It's hard to tell because the wind was really blowing. And I also love the outfit that her +1 is wearing here. I do not like the handbag though. The handbag that she has reminds me of a little box of cookies from a bakery, but you know, these weddings are super long. Maybe that's what it is, and they needed to bring some cookies along to, you know, sustain for these long wedding services. So maybe she needed those cookies. Maybe it's not cookies and it's just a weird handbag. Either way, the dress is great. Okay, next, another favorite dress is this beautiful red number here. Again, I don't know who that is, but I love the look. The only thing I don't like is the handbag. It's weird and fringy and gold, but the accents on her dress are silver. So I think the handbag was a huge miss, but the dress is lovely. I absolutely love the cut of it with the poofs here, and these buttons along just one side is absolutely fabulous. I bet there's buttons here too. This heart emblem along the belt here, waistline area, is just so cool. I absolutely love that dress. So that is all we have time for with the wedding guest looks for today, but next week we have more, and we're going to dive in a little bit more into the pregnancy reveal at Eugenie's wedding on a gossipy Tuesday chat sometime soon too. So be sure to be on the lookout for that if you like those. And if you're here for the fashion, then don't forget to subscribe, because on this coming Friday, we are going to be doing more wedding guest fashions. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you're curious about any of the makeup or jewelry or anything like that I have on today, be sure to check the product looks section of this video. It has most things linked there. And there's also Happy Day merch to remind yourself to have a happy day every day available now as well. Thank you again for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you have a happy day ahead. I'll see you next time.